Hello, hello. Oh, it's working. Good. All right. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. How is everyone doing today? I'm moving things around a little bit. Let's see. Can I pop this out? Looks like not. Okay. New subscriber. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. All right, 1 second. I am still organizing some things. Okay, here we go. Live chat. I'll tell you what, it's a lot easier to stream on my phone because I press one button. but here but here on my computer there's so many more things to track. So hello everyone. Hello. Familiar names. So I see, let's see. Okay, who do I see? So it's not pronounced Burke. I still have not looked up how to pronounce your name correctly. You said it's closer to like Burke, maybe? Was that correct? A little bit closer to that, maybe? Ahmet, Akil, Abbas, Alina, Cassia, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome back. Raphael, hello. How are you all doing today? Recently, I heard about the tattoo story. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, my choice tattoo. Yeah, I'm trying a new background. Trying a new thing. Just to see, just to have fun with it. So, yeah, so we're in the woods somewhere. So, oh goodness. Yeah, I thought I discovered this feature, this background feature, and I thought, let's have some fun with it. Let's have some fun with a background. So, oh, let's see. Uh, it's true, and you should say part of Burr with the same. Ah, okay. So, do you mean that the BER is not Burr? It's more of like maybe bear, maybe? Is that what you mean? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. Hello, hello. Hello to, let's see, Bangladesh. Close. Okay. 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 We'll figure it out. 1 second. Let me see if maybe I can figure it out on Google. I don't know if I'll get that lucky. Because sometimes there are websites or videos or something that will like help you pronounce things, even things like names. So, hello, hello, Pave, welcome back. Hello to India. Let's see. Okay, well, I'll have to check out the pronunciation thing. In Europe, the time has changed. It's an hour earlier. Ah, see, our time changes next week. Next week. November. No, not November. November. Yeah, yeah, yeah. November 2nd, I think. So, yeah. So our time changes next week. Hello to India. Hello, hello. So the time here is currently 9:22 a.m. Current time, 9:22 a.m. That's the current time. Let's see, 1 second. All right. Yeah, it's much more distracting to stream on my computer compared to my phone now that I've done both. So, well, thank you for subscribing. So there it's 6:54. Okay. Where do you? Oh, Ahmed, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I love that fist bump. I love that. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, amazing. Um, where do you think my name is from? How does it sound to you? Oh, where do I think it's from? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know actually, to be honest. I could I could believe I could believe that it's from many different places. I would believe, German, I would believe Turkish, I would believe French. I would yeah. So I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. You have changed a little. Okay. Where are you from? I'm from Holland. Oh, okay, cool. I'm from the US. I'm from the US. I'm currently living in Florida. So that's where I am currently living. 6:22 in Pakistan. Oh, okay. So maybe like dinner time. Hello to Indonesia. 4:24 in Egypt. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. Upload a video every day. No. No. I mean, listen. I'm so, so glad that you like my videos. So glad. Thank you. However, something to remember is that I do this. All of this is just me. And most YouTube channels make one video per week, and I make 3 plus 3 short videos every week. Just me. So I'm already making a ton of videos compared to a lot of other channels. And a lot of other channels have like teams, to share the work. But just me. Here, just me. So honestly, doing 3 a week is too much. It's very, very difficult to do 3. And sometimes I can't do 3 because I don't have time. But I do my best. I promise. I do my best. So, let's see. Have you ever been anything but Dutch? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not Dutch. So I'm confused by your question. Nice background. there might be alligators there. This background, it's not it doesn't really look like Florida, to be honest. This picture, I chose it because it's green and I like green. Green is my favorite color. But I guess it can be Florida. It could be. It could be Florida. Uh, hello, hello. Let's see. United States is the best country in the world. I wish I was an American. Well, we have an expression, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. It's an opinion. Hello, hello. Okay, 3 videos is fine. I'm glad because it's a lot. Am I on TikTok as well? Yes, I am on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok at missjeanteaches. Just same like here on YouTube. Oh, you're learning about American history from 1776 to the 2000s. Oh, okay, cool. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I, of course, took a lot of American history classes in school. You have to in school here, at least in my school. So I'm curious, what are you learning anything interesting? Learning anything new? How is it for you? Let's see. Not a professor. Let's see. Can I say how can we live without friends? I'm not sure if you mean friends in general or like English friends. Are we talking specific or general? Why don't you have a team? Because having a team costs money, and I don't have enough money to pay for other people to make a team. I mean, a lot of people think that because I have more than 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, oh, I must be making so much money. No, I really don't make a lot of money, I really don't make a lot of money from YouTube. I really don't. Certainly not enough for like a job. So it might pay like a bill or two, but not enough to live. So, yeah. Let's see. Maybe it's a personal question. I'm not sure if I should know, but I'm still curious. Is YouTube your main job, or do you have another main source of income? So I don't make enough money from YouTube to live, to pay rent, to pay for pretty much anything. So I really don't make a lot of money from YouTube. I really don't. So my main source of income is my teaching. So I teach privately, and I have, 15 to 20 students, and, they have classes with me regularly, and that's my main source of income. That's my main job, is teaching. But, things are changing for me. I want to be able to make more money from like creating courses, for example. My first course is now available, finally. But yeah, YouTube unfortunately does not pay me a lot. So even though YouTube is, it's like a full-time job, but I don't really make a lot of money from it. So maybe one day, you never know. Friends. So friends in general. How can we live without friends? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure how to answer that question. I'll be honest. I'm not sure how to answer that question. I stopped comparing like a native speaker. I saw that. Oh, good. My video about comparing to a native speaker. Good, because comparison is the thief of joy. It really is. So, yeah. comparing yourself to other people in general can be, it's just not good, not good. Hello, hello. Yeah, it's interesting the difference between teacher and professor. So a professor is like at a university, right? It's like that's a fancy job. But I know in some languages, teacher and professor are like the same thing. But in English, it's different. Professor is university. So, hello, hello. Do I have Instagram? I do. I do have Instagram. I am at missjeanteaches on Instagram, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I might have I don't know if my chat command is set up for socials. Looks like, there we go. Yeah. So all of my social media links, there you go. Okay. Several people from Turkey in the chat. I love it. I love your accent. Thank you. I'm using just a regular, pretty standard American accent. But, when I am in Kentucky or when I am talking to my family or when I am angry or very tired, then usually I will have a Kentucky accent. But when I'm teaching, making videos, live streaming, then I always use my teacher voice, which is my standard American accent. So, what's happening? Oh, gift memberships. Man. Oh man, thank you. Thank you so much for the gift memberships. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are amazing. With you and Ahmet both with the gift memberships, man. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very, very kind. Oh, goodness. All right. Oh, I've watched the video. Phrasal verbs always seem very interesting. The meanings of words changing. It's funny. Phrasal verbs they're weird. They're really weird, actually, because, yeah, you're putting two words together that separately mean totally different things, but then you put them together and boom, new meaning. And we have so many of them. Like, honestly, English can be really weird in that way. We have so many phrasal verbs. It's kind of ridiculous. Where do you want to see yourself 10 years from now? Oh, where do I see myself where do I want to see myself 10 years from now? Oh, that's a big question, isn't it? 10 years from now? Let's see. I'm currently 31. So in 10 years, I'll be 41. Where do I want to see myself 10 years from now? Oh my goodness. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I've thought about the next few years, but not 10 years. I mean, if I think about how much life changes, especially in 10 years, like if I think 10 years ago, in the past, I was 21. Oh my God. My life was so different, you know? And I never imagined when I was 21, I never imagined that my life would be like it is now. So oh my gosh, where do I want to see myself in 10 years? I hope I'm happy. I think that's the best I can hope for. You're out of depth. What's that mean? You're out of depth. Well, to say you're out of your depth means that, like, oh, if you're out of your depth means that you don't have the skills or the knowledge to understand a situation or to do well in a situation, like to be out of your depth. If that's the expression you're talking about, that's what that means. I've also worked on YouTube before, and your content is similar. You teach English. Usually English learners come from Eastern countries, and views from those regions don't pay more than... yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Abbas. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one of the just realities of teaching English. Yeah. Let's see. There's my socials. What's the difference between leisure and free? If you're talking about leisure time versus free time, leisure time is specifically or more about relaxing. Leisure time is more about relaxing. Leisure in general is about relaxation. And free time is just when you don't have responsibilities to do something, usually work. Leisure time and free time are very often used the same way. So, Indians have no TikTok. Oh, really? Did not know that. Let's see. I shall promote your channel among my friends, and they'll promote among theirs. Well, thank you so much, Akil. I appreciate that. That is one of the best things you can do for me, is to tell your friends about my channel. That is one of the best things you can do for me. So, okay, looks like I caught up with chat. So today I thought we might try something a little bit different. Instead of playing connections, instead of playing a game, I thought that we could look at a news article. There's a resource that I recommend to my students a lot, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this resource, I pronounce this as Angu. This is a website where you can take classes. So it's like a tutoring website, but they also have materials. And the reason I really like them is because you can filter by level. So if you want things that are more beginner, you can find materials that are just for beginners. Or if you only want to look at really difficult things, then it will show you things that are more advanced. So another thing I really like is the daily news. So when you go here, you can sort by level. Now it starts at intermediate. For today, we're going to stick with the intermediate level, okay? And when you look at the news, there's all these different categories. So you've got language and education, science and technology, economy and business, culture and entertainment, all these different categories. And when you go into an article, It gives you a vocabulary list where you can listen, you can get a definition, you can get an example sentence, and then you have the article. And the article is typically not very long. You can also listen to it. Now it is AI audio, so, it's typically good, but keep it in mind. Then another thing I really like is there are questions. There's comprehension questions, then there's discussion questions, and there's even more discussion questions. So I like this website for that reason. It's really designed for people learning English. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this link in the chat. Okay. Going to put that link in the chat. So if you want to explore this on your own, there's the link. Let's see. Hello to Bangladesh. Hello, hello. And yes, it is free. Yeah, it is free. So, like I said, I really like this website. So I thought that we could look at an article today. Now, I like to do things that you guys like to do. So I'm going to start a poll with the different options. I think it's easier to learn a language today than it was 20 years ago. We have YouTube, AI, and more. What do you think? Absolutely. Absolutely, Pave. Absolutely. I think it is so much easier, so much more convenient to learn a language today. Yes, than 20 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. There are so many resources available for free. You don't have to leave your house to learn a language, So, yeah. So let me get our options going here. So let's see. We're going to start a poll. Which article should we read? We've got impact of AI on learning. We've got I don't know what this is. What is this? Laptop too heavy? Fujitsu has a lunch deal for you. Okay. Maybe we should do this by category instead. Which category should we read? Language and education, science and technology. Let's see. Oh, it reset. Hold on 1 second. It reset the level. Here we go. Okay. Europe. Europe is its own category. Economy and business. Or culture and entertainment. Oh, I can only have 4 options? Really? Oh. All right. Here we go. All right. So choose a category. What category should we read today? And let's see, I'll give it maybe a minute or two while I answer other questions. Okay. Hello to El Salvador. Hello. Thank you for being a fan. Appreciate it. So Pave, if you would like me to connect you to Alina, send me an email and I will connect you. So that way you don't have to share any personal information in the chat. You can just email me and I will connect you. And pretty soon I want to start a community so that everyone can chat more privately, but one thing at a time. I just launched my course, so focusing on that. Alrighty, how's this poll doing? Ooh, looks like culture and entertainment is winning so far. Okay. Because let's see, culture and entertainment has, let's see, that's science and technology. Yeah, culture and entertainment. There's a ton of different categories, a ton of different stories. Like here's culture and entertainment, economy and business, health, travel and lifestyle, language and education. So many different things. So many different things. And then, oh, and there's science and technology. Let's see, how's it? Ooh, language and education and culture and entertainment are like tied. Oh, crazy. Okay. All right, well, 22 votes. Let's see if we can get a few more and maybe it'll tip one way or the other. We'll see. Okay, language and education, maybe. Is that going to be the topic for today? Are we thinking language and education? All right. Going once, going twice. Oh, went up to 40%. Oh, snap. All right. So we're going to do language and education. So let's take a look at the language and education tag or category, I guess. Same thing. So we have a lot of options. I would like to find something that is level 5 so that everyone can enjoy folk culture. If this is a format that people like, then I'll do it more often and we'll rotate between categories. So let's see what the best way to do this is. So I don't know if I should do another poll to pick one or if I should just pick one. There's a lot of different ones about English specifically. Americans like reading, but they're too busy to do it. I wonder if that's actually true. So let's see. I'll tell you what. I'll pick one and we'll go with that. And then maybe for a future one, I'll choose some for people to vote for before. So let's take a look at this one. So Americans like reading, but they're too busy to do it. They're too busy to do it. So here we've got there, but they are, right? There, they are. They are too busy to do it. So first of all, I wonder if this is actually true. I think that Americans in general do like to read. I know I love to read, but they're too busy to do it. I think I think this is interesting. I think that we'll learn something new from this. So the first thing is vocabulary, right? So let's review this real quick before we go into the article. So our first word is priority. Okay, priority. Now, we do have the option to listen to this. Priority. I don't know if it's actually connected to my... Hold on one second. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Again.
Priority.
There we go. So, priority. So, here they define priority as the fact or state of being considered more important than other people or things. So, when something is very important, basically, a priority is like your number one thing. There are other things, but the priority is number one. Is up here. So the president said that the security of the country takes priority over any other matter. So takes is very often used with priority or to make something a priority. Something takes priority or to make something a priority. Those are a couple of different ways that we use that. Then we have habit. I talk about habits a lot on my channel. A habit is something that a person or animal regularly or often does. Okay, so something that you do regularly. So regularly, not every day. Something does not have to be every day to be a habit. A habit can just be something you do regularly. So every day, every week, every month, things like that, regularly. So, for example, I have a habit of sleeping late. I personally don't. I usually wake up pretty early, actually. Our next word is count. Now, count can be a noun or a verb. So here it's a verb, so it's something you do. Okay? So to consider or be considered as having a specified quality or role. So this would mean more like, oh, that doesn't count. Meaning, oh, like that's not actually... true is not the right word. When something counts, it means that this thing has a quality or a characteristic to be in a certain category. So, for example, not everyone realizes that walking your dog does count. So, okay, box is checked. It does count as exercise. So if you use a word like count, you're usually going to use as. Something counts as this. So counts as like the category. So for example, walking your dog counts as exercise. So a way to use this with language learning, what counts as speaking a language or knowing a language? We'll say knowing. So what counts? Meaning what has the characteristic? What has the correct characteristic to be this? Right? So oh, you guys are very, very nice. It would be really cool to meet some of you in person. That'd be really cool. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Pave, you're going to email me. Okay, perfect, perfect. Hello, Taku. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello. We're just having a little lesson. Our next word, value. So here, value is a noun. It can also be a verb. It can also be something you do. But here, it's a noun. So it's just a concept. It's an idea. So here, the usefulness, so how useful something is, importance, etc., of something. So let's look at this example. I believe I can add a lot of value to this company. So I believe that I can add a lot of usefulness, or I can be very useful to this company. So I can add a lot of value. So we often use the word add with value. You add value. Okay, next word, develop. Now here, we know that it's a verb because the noun has a different form. That would be development. That would be the noun. So to develop is to grow, improve, increase. It does kind of depend on context, like which one depends on context. For example, children's brains develop very quickly from birth to the age of 5. So from birth to 5 years old, children's brains grow, increase very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, last word. By the way, if you have any questions about any of these words, let me know. Okay, last word, focus. It can also be a noun. Here it's a verb. It's very often a verb, to focus. To give one's attention to a particular thing, topic, task, etc. So when you're not thinking about or you're not doing anything else, you're here. You're here and you're focusing, or you're focused. You're giving your attention to this one thing and nothing else. I plan to focus on this project for the rest of the week. Okay, so for example, many of you focus or want to focus on improving or developing your speaking skills, right? So that's a sentence using both of these new words. So okay, so 2 of these words in one sentence. English is complicated. It can be. It depends on what language you're comparing it to. So let's take a look at this article, okay? So Americans like reading, but they're too busy to do it. So I'm going to read this out loud to everyone. And then as we go, I'll explain as well. Okay. Most people in the US think reading is important, and many people enjoy doing it, but life is just too busy for it to be a priority. So it meaning reading. Okay, so most people think that reading super important, but too busy. That's according to, so you'll see this word a lot in news articles. You'll see according to, like this. you'll see according to very often. And that just means this is what, like, this statement came from or was said by this place, this person, this source, like that. So here we have that's according to a new survey by NPR. NPR is a news organization in America. A new survey by NPR and polling company Ipsos. So that meaning this statement. Okay, so that's according to a new survey by NPR and a polling company. So polling is like what I had for you guys when a company asks you questions about your preferences. They asked, so they, meaning NPR and polling company, they asked more than 2,000 US adults about their reading habits and for their opinions about reading. Okay, so more than 2,000 people, well, specifically adults. So people over the age of 18, okay, about their reading habits and for their opinions about reading. The survey, which was done in February 2025, found that about half of Americans had read a book or an ebook or listened to an audiobook in the past month. Now, there's a lot going on in this sentence, okay? So if we look at this sentence here, there's a lot going on. So one of the things you can do is look for the main verb. In this sentence, it's the word found. So this information that's between commas, so this right here and this right here, this is called a comma, okay? In English and many other languages, commas are used to separate little packages of information in a sentence. Little packages of information that can be removed from the sentence, and the sentence still works. So these little packages here are just extra information. So this little information is talking about the survey, the timing, when this survey was done. But we can remove this. We can remove this and it still works. The survey found. We can skip right over this. The survey found that about half of Americans had read a book or an ebook or listened to an audiobook in the past month. So these are 3 options, basically. So read a book, read an ebook, or listened to an audiobook, okay, in the past month. Now again, this can be removed and it still makes sense. In the past month. Okay, so we could remove all of this and we have the main part of the sentence. The survey found that about half of Americans had read a book in the past month. That's like the heart of the sentence. Okay. Everything else is just extra information. So, okay. And 67% said they'd read a book or listened to an audiobook over the past year. So 67% read a book or listened to an audiobook over the past year. So the year before, in the year before. Now, personally, I do both. I read books and listen to audiobooks. I like both. However, but not everyone was able to agree if listening to an audiobook should count as reading. I have opinions about this topic. More than 2 out of 5 people said it doesn't count. All right, let's take a closer look at this sentence. Moro, welcome back. How's it going? They might use parentheses instead of commas. True. That's true. It can depend on the type of information and the function in the sentence. But yes, certainly for this could absolutely go in parentheses. Absolutely. For sure. But for something like this, because of the word which, it's better with commas. So, but very good point. Big hug from Chile. Well, big hug from America. Hello to Chile. So let's take a look at this sentence. So first we have however, which however is, it means that there's something is switching from what was previously said. So it's like but, however, not everyone was able to agree. So you don't have to say was able to. You can also say not everyone agreed. If listening to an audiobook should count, so remember count, meaning something has the correct characteristics to be something else. So here, listening to an audiobook, like, does it count as reading? Like this. This would be the meaning of counts. Okay. Like this. Okay. More than 2 out of 5. So 2 out of 5. Okay. 2 out of 5 means like that. You can also say 2/5. It's a little bit harder to say fifths. It's a little hard to say. Most people don't pronounce this second F. Usually people just say fifths like that. Fifths. They don't pronounce the second F because it's too hard. It's too difficult to say fifths. It's too hard. So many people say fifths like that. Okay. More than, okay. So more than 2 out of 5 people said it doesn't count. We can also say, so 2/5 is what, 40%? Is that right? So more than 40%, more than 2 out of 5 people said it doesn't count. So, okay. I'm going to start a poll. Let's see if you guys agree. Does listening to an audiobook count as reading? Can you say, oh, I read this book? Can you say that if it's an audiobook? Okay. So does listening to an audiobook count as reading? I'm curious because I have opinions about this. I definitely have opinions about this. Okay. I'm curious. Does listening to an audiobook count as reading? What are we thinking? Let's see. How's the poll going? Oh, it looks like we're a bit divided. Oh, interesting. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I'll be honest. Okay. Oh, we're 50-50. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. So, does it count as reading? Okay. Ooh, it looks like, okay, we've got 17 votes. Ooh, okay, 18 votes. It's looking like no. Interesting. Okay, so question. All right, question. This is my question. If I read a book, or if I listen to a book, how do I tell you that this book, like, I finished it? I know the story. I know I've I've consumed all the words. I know the characters. I know the story. I experienced this story. Like, what do I say then? If I listen to a book, or let's see, do I have to use my eyes in order to read a book? Or to have read a book, I suppose. Because there are a lot of books that I listened to. I didn't read. I didn't use my eyes, but I say, oh yeah, I read that book. I think when I say, oh, I listened to the audiobook, it's very specific and it's accurate, but I think that it's being overly specific. I think it's being too specific. I think I can say, I read that book. Like, oh yeah, I read that. I think that personally, okay, my opinion, okay, this is not a fact, just my opinion. Listening to an audiobook counts as reading. My opinion. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it came out, 30 votes came out as no. 53% said no. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Personally, I think that listening to an audiobook counts as reading. Let's see. My Spanish is not, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I recognize a few of the words, but not enough. I don't recognize enough of them. These are the same thing. Listener and reader take in the details in both ways. See, I agree. I think that, if you are listening or if you're reading, you're still consuming the story. You're still consuming the story. You have to touch paper, and when you use your eyes, it will use your brain more. So that's what we were looking for in my video. Okay, interesting. Okay. So okay. Ooh. So does using your eyes use your brain more? I have heard that like a lot of your brain energy is dedicated to sight. Okay, fair enough. But does using your brain more mean that you it counts more as reading? I don't know. Like, I can tell you, for example, yesterday I was working on a big physical project and I was listening to a book. However, it was not just an audiobook. It was like we call it a dramatization. It was more than just an audiobook. It was a dramatization, meaning I was listening to a story that had multiple voices, different voices, sounds, music. It was like listening to a movie. So is that using more of my brain because there's more information? Does it count as reading? I think it does, personally. Not just about what the book is telling, it's about brain activity as well. Very interesting opinion. Okay. Interesting opinion. Okay. All right. I like this. This is a good discussion. Let's see what else the article says. Okay. Hello. Robson, hello. I think reading is better than just listening as it can prepare us for speaking. Opening the mouth and producing the sounds is crucial for improvement. Sure. Interesting. If we're talking about reading, listening as it connects to language learning, then my opinion is different. If we're talking about for language learning, I think listening is better. I think listening and reading are both amazing. But if we're talking about language learning, I would say listening is better than reading. Personally. My opinion. So both are super important and very helpful. But I think listening is better. Personally. My opinion. All right. So more than 2 out of 5 people said it doesn't count. Oh, let me end this poll. Okay, hold on one second. 57% said no. Okay, interesting. But while not everyone is reading, many people see the value in it. Okay, so meaning they see the value, meaning, it's like, it is useful, like that. Most people said it's a good way to learn about the world and it's a relaxing thing to do. Okay. And 98%, that's a lot, 98% of parents said they want their children to develop, to grow, to increase, to develop a love of reading. I can tell you. So, not to brag, but my vocabulary as a native English speaker is above average. And I think that's because I have been a reader. I've been reading consistently as a habit, as a hobby since I was young. So reading is super, super useful. It is very valuable for vocabulary, grammar, all of it. Listening to English is harder than reading for me. Also, same. Shun. Yeah, same. For me, I definitely understand. It's listening to a language, yeah, can definitely be harder than reading. Because with reading, you know, the words are not disappearing. When you listen, the word is only this brief period of time, and you have to hold that word in your mind, and it's much harder. Yeah. I believe we can truly grasp the meaning and depth of a book only when we read it with our hearts. For instance, as we read a story, we can clearly picture the scenes unfolding in our minds. So sure, but you can do that with reading with your eyes or listening, right? I think. Because when I listen to an audiobook, I picture the story, like no problem. I can picture it very clearly if I'm reading with my eyes or listening to it. So yeah, and then listening over reading. Yeah, for language learning, yeah, I think, personally. Let's see. 98% of parents said they want their children to develop love reading. Yeah. So when it comes to vocabulary, yeah, like honestly, I think reading is a fantastic... Sorry. There's a lot of birds outside making a lot of noise all of a sudden. Oy. So if you are around like B2, C1, the birds are having a party outside. Good grief. If you're like B2, C1 level, then reading is a fantastic activity for you, I think, because you will see different vocabulary. In reading activity, I have to stay in time while... Sure, you can decide time, pause. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like with a listening activity, you have to like stay in time. Yeah, yeah. While reading, I can decide the time. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. To develop a love of reading, but many adults find, meaning many adults think, believe, discover, many adults find there just isn't enough time for them to read as much as they'd like. So as much as they'd like, meaning they want to read more, but they can't. So many adults find there just isn't enough time. So they don't have enough time to read as much as they want to. The most common reason people gave, so to give a reason, okay, or in the past gave, the most common reason people gave for not reading more was that there were too many other things to do. I mean, now we live in a world where you have so many options for entertainment. You know, you have so many options. So reading a book or listening to an audiobook, you know, it might not be as interesting as, I don't know, TikTok, for example. Many people also said they prefer other forms of entertainment. Okay, so other forms of entertainment, maybe like social media, maybe. While a quarter, we'll come back to this, I'll explain. While a quarter said work gets in the way, and 22% said they find it hard to focus on reading. So we have three different things here. Many people said they prefer other forms of entertainment. Here we go. So, prefer other forms of entertainment. That would mean, we're going to assume like social media, streaming, things like that. A quarter said, now quarter means 25%. Okay, 1/4. That's a quarter. Okay, so quarter. Okay. Now, work, meaning your job, gets in the way. Gets in the way means, like, imagine you are trying to do something. Something gets in your way means something blocks you, stops you, or, it's an obstacle. So, work gets in the way. Work interferes with what you're trying to do. And 22% said they find it hard. So they find it, meaning they think, they believe, they find it hard to focus on reading. So, when it comes to focus, things like social media and short content has really changed our ability to focus. So I definitely believe that. Let's see. Oh, hang on one second. Maybe it's about how focused we are. Yep, exactly. No matter the language, reading builds our knowledge. Absolutely. Have you ever heard about the novel Bygone Days? Bygone Days. I have not. No, I don't think I've heard of that book. So let's see. Maybe it wasn't clear. I definitely agree with you. Listening is better for learning, but reading is still helpful, maybe to help us with accent. Really? Reading is helpful with accent. Oh. Do you mean like reading out loud? Like I read a book out loud? If that's what you mean, that's a good exercise for sure. They'd equals they would or they had. It depends. How can we figure it out? I saw that word in this article. So it does depend. Where does it show up here? Hold on. Okay. So here, how can you tell? Context. So I know that this is had because we're talking about a past event. If using wouldn't make sense. They would read a book over the past year. Those two things don't go together. But because we're talking about a past event in this way, I don't think I'm explaining it very well. There might be a clearer grammatical reason for it. My current knowledge says context. Oh, they would or they had. That's such a good one. That's such a good question. It depends on what you prioritize. Absolutely. Yeah. People don't make you can make time for what you want. Yeah. Both are crucial, reading and listening, but listening is more important than reading. So yeah, like both are absolutely super useful, very, very important. Yeah, I agree. 100%. My stomach just growled. I guess I'm really hungry. um, if it's would, there will be base form of the verb. If it's had, there would be the past participle. True. Yeah. The thing is, let's see, where's the example? That's true. So here, but the thing is, you can, yes, it's tricky with a word like READ because you can't look at it and know for sure if it's a past participle or not because it changes pronunciation, but it doesn't change the spelling. So, yes, if it was like this, they would versus they had, this would be they would read, okay, read, versus they had read. Same spelling, but this word does not change the spelling when it changes form. It only changes pronunciation. So it's tricky with a word like this to know if it's a past participle or not. So, one of my favorite books for reading is Prisoner of Zenda. Don't know how many times. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. I'd come to you. Right. So it's easier with some verbs than others. Bygone Days is a novel written. Oh, okay. One is back. Ah, okay. Cool. Which literally means days gone by or bygone days. Cool. Very, very cool. Bygone days. Okay. So that's why English is very complicated. Yes, but the thing is, little weird grammar things like this exist in every language. Like every language has these weird, complicated rules. So it's not just English. Okay, so, we finished the article. Okay, so I'm actually going to skip the comprehension questions. We're going to go to the discussion questions. And let's see. Okay, it's almost been an hour and a half. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we talked about this one. Already. Let's talk about this one. Do you find it hard to make time for reading in your day-to-day life? Okay, let's do a poll for this. Okay. Okay. Do you find it hard to make time for reading in your day-to-day life? Let's see. Let's see how it is for everyone. Do you find it hard? Meaning, is it difficult? Is it difficult for you to make time, to find time to read in your day-to-day life? I'm curious. For me personally, I don't really find it very difficult because I make it a priority. So it's part of my daily habit to read or listen to an audiobook. So for me, it's not really hard to find time. My morning routine includes reading. So during the week, I wake up at 6 a.m. I, wash my face, brush my teeth, and I take care of my dog. And then for 30 minutes between 7 a.m. and 7:30, I will journal. I'll write in my journal for about 15 minutes. And then for 15 minutes, I will read something. And usually it's an actual book. Like, it's an actual book. I typically only listen to books if I'm doing something else, if I'm doing some physical activity. So, for example, yesterday, I was doing a very long physical activity, and so I was listening. I was listening to an audiobook. So I read for about 15 minutes in the morning, and then at 7:30 I come upstairs, I do my meditation, my yoga, stretching, things like that. And then 8 a.m. I am at my desk starting my workday. So I make reading part of my morning routine. Okay. No, like reading. Okay, very nice. Cassia, depends on my activities. I'm a vet in a university and I love. Oh, okay. So yeah, like for you, if you're like a doctor, a vet in, a very demanding job, I imagine it can be very difficult to make time. Because I know for me, I work from home. So I don't have to worry about things like going to work, right? Getting in my car and driving to work. I'm already at work. And so for me, I do have a little bit more time because of that. So no streamer can keep you watching their stream for an hour and a half, but you. Oh, oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad. Thank you. That's such a compliment. Thank you. I'm very glad. But I read many topics about my work too. Sure. Yeah, so especially if you're in like a medical field, sure, you're doing a lot of reading, but it's like for your work. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Not at all. When something becomes your passion, it's not a burden, it becomes joy. Absolutely. Yeah, when it becomes a passion, it's no problem making time for it. That's the thing about reading. It reading is just a form, right? It's the medium. It's the form that something takes, meaning that you can read about anything. There are so many stories out there, so many topics. If like anything you want to read about, there is a book out there about that topic or with a story like that. There's something for everyone. I scraped myself yesterday. So that's the cool thing about reading. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, talking about the bygone days. I've only read one book this year and not even to the end. I like to watch other people analyze what they read. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Another thing as well. Something I do with my students who are younger, so like the kids that I teach, I very often use graphic novels with them because you have the visual, you have the pictures with a graphic novel, and it focuses on dialogue, which is speaking. So I use graphic novels with my students, and it can be more interesting for you. If you struggle to read an entire book, try a graphic novel. Try a graphic novel. Talking about the bygone days. My reading is not good. I just listen to the audiobooks. To develop my reading as well, but I don't. A place you can start. I hope you guys cannot hear my stomach making noise. I'm really hungry. My stomach is being very loud because I'm very hungry. So listening to audiobooks is fantastic. If you want to improve your reading, I recommend starting with listening and reading at the same time. So this is actually one way that I became a good reader when I was younger. When I was a kid, I had a lot of input with both. So for example, my mom read to me a lot when I was very young, and I would read. She was reading it out loud and I was looking. And then when I was a little bit older, like maybe 8 or 9 years old, I loved Harry Potter. I would listen to the Harry Potter audiobook and read at the same time. And then after a little bit of time, after doing that for a while, then I was much, much more comfortable just reading and not listening. So I recommend getting a book and the audio of the same story and read and listen together or at the same time. Usually I read a book before going to bed. Oh, great. That's fantastic. I used to do that. I don't really do that now. Usually I read in the morning, but sometimes I do. I hear nothing. Oh, thank God. Because my stomach is so loud. Oh, goodness. It keeps growling. Okay. I like reading usually in the evening before going to sleep. Yeah, it's a common time. It's a very common time to read. Yeah. I used to read books, but when I saw new words that I can read in this point, can't read. Okay. I see. Here's the thing. You should read books with new words because that's how you learn. If you're only reading books where you know everything 100%, well, it's good practice, but you're not learning anything new necessarily. You're not learning as much, I guess. You're still learning maybe different meanings of old words, but it's okay. You don't have to know every single word. So, that's totally okay. I felt a little lazy to read a book every day. You don't have to read every day. You don't have to. It's not a rule. Okay, so the poll. So 39% said no and 32% said a little. Okay, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I changed your mind. Really? Okay. Well, that's great. That's cool. Yeah, I think, like I said, when you're reading or when you're listening, you don't have to know every single word. I mean, if you are understanding everything 100%, then yeah, you're not really learning anything new. So, can I send you some cookies? I do love cookies. I do love cookies. But I appreciate the thought. My favorite cookies, honestly, I'm very simple. I'm very, very simple. Chocolate chip, classic. Just classic chocolate chip. And I make My chocolate chip cookie recipe, so good. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I need to wrap this up. Hold on. Let's switch back to here. Okay. Everyone has their own taste. Someone likes to read adventures. Yeah, like that's the cool thing about reading, you know? Like you can find exactly what you like. So for me, I like to read a lot of different things. I like to read fiction. I like to read nonfiction. I like to read, about real life, but also magic. And I like to read about a lot of different things. Have a nice day. Thank you, Martin. Sorry, what about the shadowing learn technique for English? Shadowing, a lot of people really like shadowing as a technique. I think it's a good technique. It certainly, I think you should try it and see if it works for you. So, live. I don't know if I say your name Ganga or Ganga, or I'm not sure about how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. You can tell me how to pronounce your name. Let's let the teacher go get something to eat. Yeah, I do need to go make some food. So, alrighty. So, yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you all so much for being here. One last question before we go. One last question. Should I do more news streams? Okay. Question. So, should I do more, or maybe not news? Hold on. Maybe news is not the right one. Hold on. Wait. Should I do... Oy vey. Hold on. Should I do more live streams with articles? There we go. Again, sorry. Okay. Should I do more live streams with articles? Oh, before I faint. Listen, I have fainted several times in my life, and I definitely know I'm not about to faint because I have plenty of water. But yeah, I will go eat something. Do you think AI voice is natural? Well, it depends. Some AI voices are better than others, so it kind of depends. I've heard some really good AI voices, but I've also heard some really bad ones. So, I mean, yeah. Okay, interesting. More of like a gunga, like that? Is that a little closer? Gunga? I will try to get it right if I can. I will try to get it right. Well, I'm so glad you all are here, and it's 100% said yes. Well, fantastic. I'm glad it was an overwhelming success. Fantastic. I'm glad. I'm glad that you all like the articles. I will try to include that in live streams from now on. So, thank you all so much for being here, for making time to include me in your day. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Okay, good. It's Gunga like that. Okay, fabulous. Love that. Good. Well, thank you all so much. I bought a book about American history. I'm interested more with American history than my own country. Interesting. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. So thank you all so much for being here. You can also see me on Friday. That's my schedule, my live stream schedule. Not just a good teacher, a good streamer as well. Thank you very much. You're very kind. So have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and a fantastic week. And I hope to see you all here on Friday. So take care and see you next time. Bye.